Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Taco TV and I've gathered you all here today because 3 days ago there was a video uploaded to YouTube claiming that the developers of Hollow Knight Silksong said the game is finished. What the video author was referring to was this specific message from Leth, the marketing manager of Team Cherry, the developers behind Hollow Knight and Hollow Knight Silksong. You could say we finished all the content of the game and are in final testing. Now, on the surface, this looks like Team Cherry is finally saying something about the progress of their game. Yay! We're getting news, everybody! So I don't blame the guy who made that video at all, right? Because that's how I interpreted it as well at first. But before rushing and making a video about it, I actually contacted Leth directly and asked him, hey, so Silksong is pretty much done, that's cool. Because it struck me quite as odd how Leth could just be going around saying, hey everybody, look, we're almost finished. Because he is under a non-disclosure agreement with Team Cherry, meaning that he is not allowed to speak publicly about the development progress of the game. So that's why I asked him that beforehand. And it turns out he wasn't at all talking about the release date of Silksong, about the development progress of Silksong, but just how the development progress of a game doesn't necessarily correlate with the release schedule for that same video game. Because it could be that the game is finished already, but it's held back for marketing reasons or something. I don't know. That's just the point he was trying to make there. So even if they told us about their progress with the game, that wouldn't give us any actual information about the release date. Another point the person made was that Team Cherry is already working on another game. And with a team of only 3 people, it would be crazy to work on 2 games at the same time, right? So where they got this info is from the recent Edge magazine, which had an entire 15-page segment dedicated only to Silksong. And what they were referring to specifically in that article is this paragraph right here. You can read the entirety of it, but basically what it boils down to is that yes, they have this non-Hollow Knight game that is due to be made, but at this point it's only a bunch of documents in a shared Google Docs. And they've been slowly adding to it over time. So to say that they're working on an entirely different game at the same time is quite the big overstatement in my opinion. Also, Team Cherry has done that in the past because they started developing Silksong when they were still working on Hollow Knight, so they can handle 2 games at the same time. So that point is null and void basically. They've made 2 other points, one of them being that because Team Cherry just ramped up the marketing for Silksong, you know, they just did this magazine with Edge, they've announced that they will be doing an interview with A Profound Waste of Time, which is a British magazine. And yeah, it makes sense. Why would you market something that isn't there yet? And that points towards the game coming out soon-ish. Yes, I agree with that. The last point they made was that Team Cherry doesn't have to announce the game months in advance. They announced the original game 2 weeks prior to its launch, which is something I actually talked about too a year ago from now. When I said that Team Cherry was releasing Silksong in June of 2020, which we all know by now it did not happen at all. I get what he's trying to say, but it doesn't really matter when the release date is announced, when we have no real good evidence as for when the release date is going to be. Now, what's my personal opinion on this? I would say yes, it is definitely possible that the game releases in February, March, or even the middle of the year, June, whatever. But when I was reading the Edge magazine, I saw evidence that Silksong is going to be significantly larger than the original Hollow Knight was. And if that holds true, then that could mean that we actually have to wait an entire year or 2 until the game releases. I do want to believe that the game's coming out earlier than that, but please don't get your hopes up way too high because of false information, everybody. Thanks for listening to my TED Talk, and I hope I'll see you soon. Taco out.